Mayday Parade dropped their new album, Sweet. We sat down with Mayday Parade, and you can go watch it now to chat about all things Sweet.
Yeah,
It was a really
I'm just
cool
gonna take
interview.
a second real quick to just
Go
say,
for it.
holy fuck, by the way.
Yeah,
The
because they're
whole
one of your favorite bands,
Holy
right?
shit. Holy shit.
Yeah.
We had Derek on the podcast to chat about his solo project, and that was like a full circle moment in and of itself, getting to chat with the front man of Mayday Parade. Granted, not about Mayday Parade, but getting to
We
chat
There was a sprinkle of Mayday
a little
Parade
bit
in
of
there.
Mayday Parade, of
Only because
course.
he brought it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a slight sprinkle, but just getting to chat with him and pick his brain was so awesome. But getting to sit down with Alex and properly chat about Mayday Parade for 40 minutes was like a pinch me moment, because they're like one of the first bands that I discovered going like to a live show, because Sad Summerfest rolled through in 2019. I just started going to shows and I was like, this seems like my scene. I'm just gonna go. I knew none of the bands on the bill. I knew nothing about it other than it was happening at the Stone Pony Summer Stage and I was gonna go. And then that turned into me seeing them again when they came through in November and played Anywhere But Here in full live with Grayscale, who also performed on that Sad Summer date. So it's just like, it was super cool to finally get to sit down with Mayday Parade. It's something that we've been trying to make happen for a long time. And if you like Mayday Parade, which if you clicked on this review, you probably do, I would highly recommend that you watch the interview. It was a phenomenal chat.
Damn straight. And that's coming from a fan.
Yes.
So,
with that being said, we chatted about the album that came out, which is part 1 of 3. It's called Sweet. They're going to be putting out 3 parts to the album to celebrate 20 goddamn years of being a band, which is insane. Makes me feel old.
Yeah, I was a year old when this band was made. So that's kind of crazy.
Makes me feel old. Let me tell you, man, like
just go for it.
I love Mayday Parade, but there's pop punk and then there's Mayday Parade. And they just
That's a shirt.
They just continue to like, I feel like I was thinking about this driving today, listening to the record. I'm like, there's a couple of bands within pop punk that have transcended pop punk, and the genre is just their name. That is State Champs. Because if I hear State Champs, I know that's State Champs. If you blindfolded me and put earplugs in, I could still tell you that that was a State Champs song. And it's the same thing with Mayday Parade. Blindfold me, put earplugs in, I'll tell you that was Mayday Parade. And I think that it has something to do with not even the instrumentals, it's the vocalists of the bands are so iconic. I mean, Derek is both bands have Derek's in them. Both Derek's have very unique vocal performances and vocal deliveries that really add this unique flair to the bands. Because like Who's Laughing Now off of Sweet is the most like out of left field song, because you add in a whole nother band, the vocalist of that band, you add in this whole different component, and it changes the way that the song feels and sounds almost entirely, because you're adding in Joe from Knuckle Puck's vocals as well. I love that song because it stands out a little bit. For me,
you're different, and
yes, for me, I love Mayday Parade. It's like the good old reliable, you know what you're going to get when you turn on a Mayday Parade record. There's a couple of boxes that they're going to check every single time. They checked it even with these 7 songs and an interlude. That they had the slow song Towards You, and then it's a solid listen. I love, by the way, Who's Laughing Now. Who We Are is awesome as well. I think this is a slam dunk home run. I'm excited for 2 more parts of the Mayday Parade rollout, and watch the interview. There's my piece.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna say my piece really quickly. So I have been kind of like a common fan of Mayday Parade. I know their songs, I know their albums, I listen to them and I go, yeah, it's Mayday Parade, and that's about it. Typically I only really listen to them when they, apart from obviously the fucking hits that are in all
Jamie All Over.
Shout out Jamie All Over. All incredible, and I really typically only listen to Mayday Parade when they do release something new. And usually the gist is, yeah, it's Mayday Parade and it's fucking awesome, and I love this song just like how I love all their other tracks, because they're just good. They've been doing it for 20 years. They know what their fans like, they know what they like, and they know how to, satisfy both of those things while also making a really fucking solid song.
Mhm.
This album is nothing out of the ordinary. They made a fucking great, catchy, upbeat, sunshiny ass fucking pop punk record. I think it's incredible. Um, Something about bands from this era specifically, typically their music doesn't really hit for me because it's kind of like you can tell sometimes, not with all of the bands in this era. So just take this with like a fucking grain of salt. You can kind of, once a band reaches a certain age, you can kind of tell that they've kind of hit the bottom of the barrel, and it doesn't feel like they're giving like their full 100% to creating and
'Cause
writing
they're
music.
still writing
Um,
about their teenage years as 40-year-old men.
Blink 182. So
Exactly.
I love now. Okay, how do But so I always get a little worried when I have to kind of sit down and really listen to a full release of a band that's been around this long, because a part of me is like, fuck, what if I break that illusion that I have of just kind of the one-off songs of this is really good and really solid because it's a one-off. I listen to it, 2, 3 times and I go, yeah, that's a good fucking song. But if I have to listen for 30 minutes, 35 minutes, sometimes I kind of break out of it and I go, are we still talking about this? Or it's like, y'all are grown, It's just kind of like, what the fuck are you saying? But I did not have that experience with Mayday Parade. It still feels like they have that oomph. They have, oh my god, oomph. They have that fire. And I think they're still able to make an incredible record. I'm very excited to hear. Obviously, I knew this, but just looping it back in,
Mhm.
that this is a three-parter.
Mhm.
Because this was fucking crazy, and it felt like it did go by too quickly. It felt like it started and it finished. It just felt fucking in and out.
Yeah.
My personal favorite was actually the closer, Pretty Good to Feel Something. I love that it did pick up immediately after a slower kind of just toned down song, and it brought the energy right back up for the closer. That is how closers should be, in my opinion. Was it a fucking rager? No, but it fucking flipped around the tone. It didn't end the record on a sad note. So I've changed my perspective. I've changed my opinion. Sad songs should be second to last, not the very last.
Yep.
Everyone get the message. Thank you. Um, I also did really enjoy Who's Laughing Now, just because I do enjoy Knuckle Puck. I enjoy a good dosage of Knuckle Puck. And overall, I think the record was fucking incredible. I think they're a great band. I think they still got it, and I'm excited for more.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. They're going to be on tour, like we said, celebrating 20 years of the band. Massive U.S. tour with Microwave, Grayscale,
Mhm.
and Like Roses. So if that's coming near you, you should definitely check it out. Peep the dates, all that fun jazz.
They're coming to rally on a Wednesday. You know? It's like, what the fuck? Because I was gonna try to go. Because I
Yeah.
was like, damn, I do want to see Mayday Parade and Grayscale live.
Mhm.
But then I saw fucking Wednesday? Fucking weird.
I saw Mayday Parade and Grayscale live together way back when 2019, when Mayday Parade was they were this is the show I was talking about at the beginning, the Anywhere But Here anniversary tour, but they were doing those dates sporadically throughout, and basically emo night tour where they were doing covers. Like that was their fall tour, which was basically a cover
Yeah.
tour with these album plays sprinkled throughout, and
Mhm.
they ripped out a My Chem I'm Not Okay cover at the end of the set, and it was so badass. I was
Whoa.
totally smashed up against the Starland Ballroom bar, but it was
Yeah.
that's the most alive I've ever felt, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been
chasing
chasing
that high
that
ever
feeling
since.
ever fucking since. And it
You
was
know
the
what, man? I
dopest
get
thing
it.
ever.
Yeah. Damn, that's a fucking crazy lineup. That's a mashup. That's
Yeah.
yeah. All right. All
Yeah.
right.
And then I stood
Huh.
in line after that show because I had bought the tour shirt with the dates on the back for the Anywhere But Here. But then Derek wore the Mayday Parade knockoff My Chemical Romance Black Parade shirt that they had for the covers tour, and I
Yeah.
stood in a line and made my poor mom wait a whole hour and a half after the show just so I could get that fucking shirt.
I'm glad it wasn't sold out because an hour and a half is
And I still have it.
diabolical. That's great.
Yep.
That's commitment, man.
Yeah,
That's
man. I
commitment.
was like, I saw that on him. I was like, I need that shirt. And I was like, Mom, you're gonna hate me. I need that shirt.
I
I
need
need
it.
that shirt. To be honest with you, I need
You
it.
cool with waiting an hour and a half?
Yeah.
You have no choice.
Yeah. I'm dragging you in. We're waiting.
Mhm.
Yeah. Never felt so alive since then.